Welcome back to Kirk's Bees. I'm Kirk, and today we're going to be looking at two hives that we haven't really looked at a whole lot. One, I've never done an inspection on. I went in the middle of the week, we did clipped her wings and we did a marking. Got her marked. They're in a temporary nuke box right now, right over here. And then we have another nuke right here. So we're going to look at these. So let's get to it. First inspection. I'm not setting the phone down to this time for recording. Let you look inside it, give it a little different perspective here. This is a plywood nuke box. It's warped, it's been in the weather. Plywood, it does not hold up to weathering. I'll show you exactly what I mean. You'll see how it's a little bit off right here. The shadow from the sun really shows it really well. And then I had to put this screen in, give them some extra protection because the lid is actually warped. So if you're thinking about using plywood, you might want to reconsider. This is a good swarm trap, not good for a hive body. This hive is from a cutout that we did earlier, and they're a lot more feisty than mother stock. Now the reason for that is most likely genetics. But that's okay, they're still welcome here in the bee yard. These two frames, they're empty. This one, they might start drawing on it. I scraped off some comb earlier in the week because it was sticking out too far. And I just knew that the bees are gonna clean it up and rob it out. So look what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing right now. They're chewing up all the wax and they're eating up the honey. So I'm gonna leave that there and let them clean that up. That's exactly what I was wanting them to do. That's what it looks like when they clean out wax and just clean up their hive. And I'll take that wax out later. They'll probably take some of that wax and put it on the frame. So just leave it there. There's no point in removing it. What happens is, see how this comb is drawn out past the wood. If you scrape it off, unfortunately you may kill some bees doing it, but if they draw out another frame, I'll let them rob this one out and clean it up, and then I'll cut that comb off. It's just honey. The brood, they do not do that with. So the queen in this hive is now marked, so we should be able to see her a lot better. This is brood, this is honey. In between they got nectar. Queen is just recently released, so just seeing, whoops, what will happen if you accidentally damage comb like this. I actually put my finger in it. Don't worry, they'll clean it up, they'll fix it. And there's the queen. I marked her in white. I don't do the years and colors type of thing. Oh, she's looking a lot better. Her abdomen is shrunk while she was in that cage, so I ain't too worried. It's starting to extend back out. That's really good. Get a really good up close look of her. Ain't she beautiful? Oh yeah. They love their queen, I'll tell you that. This colony loves their queen. Some people say, well, how do you know the difference between Africanized bees and just regular European bees? Which these happen to be Italian, or some people call them American honeybees. They're all European, but Africanized, I'll tell you right now, this is a good way to know if it's an Africanized colony. See how nobody's out front? Okay, we got a little bit of activity, but you see how they're not pouring out. We got a robber bee and tried coming in there. He's being chased down too. You're gonna chase that bee all the way away. Well, guess what? They went back inside. This is not an Africanized colony. Unnecessary banging and jarring on a hive. I guarantee you go up to an Africanized hive and you 3 little taps. You can just, heck, you don't even need a tool. You do that on an Africanized hive, and they will almost the entire hive will pour out and chase you. And there's a bunch of empty frames. It's still a new colony. Now this one thing the beekeepers want to do is they want to count their frames. See, there's nothing. Oh, bees on one side, bees on both sides, bees on one side. That means you got 2 frames of bees. You always want to count the number of frames you have. That tells you the size of your population. So if you're looking at population for that day, that's something to look at. Oh, we got eggs. Oh, I like. Very good laying pattern too. Basically where it's dark is where she's laying. Man, if there's an empty cell, there is an egg in it. Oh, good girl. Very good girl. I love you. Thank you so much. This is capped brood. We got some larvae down in there. Excellent laying pattern. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are such a good girl. Damaged one, and they are on it immediately. They're up to cleaning that comb immediately. They will not hesitate to clean up comb. Once it's cleaned up and dried out, they'll either fill it back up or do whatever they want with it. Fix it for an egg. It's completely up to them. They know best. Why would this hive not take their feed and this hive completely drain it in a matter of a couple of days? Well, I've done some research on this and have found that there is something called lazy bee syndrome. It is a real syndrome. This is evidence of that. When this hive completely drains theirs, this hive won't take it. This hive won't take it. They're new, so we're not going to count them. Now wait a minute, that's 2 out of 3 hives taking their feed. Well, they came along and they clean up stuff, but they won't take the feed that I make, except for 1 hive. Well, what that's called is a lazy bee syndrome. Sometimes bees do develop that when being fed. How do you remedy lazy bee syndrome? Very simple. You take their feed from them. And I'm going to force them to go out to the real nectar and get the real stuff. And that will solve the lazy bee syndrome issue. This brings us to table talk. Table talk at Kirk's Bees. Right here. We got some stuff setting out. I've been letting the Mother Nature clean it up for me. Or melt it down, depending on how you think about it. I've not been too thrilled with the heat. I'm sure most people haven't. The sun has she's done a real number of my old rubber bands I had sitting out up here. Even brand new ones, she's claimed them for herself. I scratched some bee wax from Barnyard Bees up on here. And Mother Nature has done a great job of sending everybody to clean the honey out of it and melt it down even better, then I could have melted it and painted it on the frames, on these foundations. This is a foundation, those of you just joining in, and this is a frame. There's slots on here that these foundations can be fit into. These are plastic foundations. So I just lay them, I will wax them and lay them out here, let nature clean them up and melt them down for me. So that's why they're just sitting out here, and everybody takes part in cleaning these up. Nobody's exempt from this. Even the hornets come over here. I don't care if they're over here, but stay away from my hives. This had melted down earlier, and inside the hive, as long as I set it outside the hive, the bees and everybody will clean it up, and they've done a remarkable job at that. A little bit of this is not actual pollen. This is from pollen patty that got stuck on there. I don't care. That's fine. It'll melt down and melt out of the wax when I clean it up. This one is one that didn't do too bad, but I straightened it back out so they could eat out of it because it was melting down like that. Well, they have cleaned it up. They've taken all they want out of it. It's dry now. There is no nectar or honey. Well, it was full of honey, but there's no honey inside this comb. They have literally robbed it out. They got what they want from it, everything that they thought was good, and said, you can have the rest. So you know what? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take the rest. Now this melted down because it's been hot this week. And you can see what I mean by melted down. It was a lot bigger. See, it just collapsed under its own weight and from the weight of what was in it. So I'm just taking this out. It's real soft comb because it's new. It's not old comb. How do you tell the difference between old and new comb? Well, real simple answer is the color. I don't have old comb here. I only have new comb because I'm a new beekeeper. Here's some new comb also that's been melted a little bit, just sitting outside being robbed. So I'll let you watch this. See how soft that is? I'm not putting hardly any pressure. I'm just using a tool to make sure I get all of it. It's still going to leave the scent of bees being on it, the pheromones. And that's perfectly fine by me. Oh, someone's even on the side of it. I didn't even see that, but it's all clean now. This is going into our wax bucket. This will be rendered wax later and sold. So if anybody wants to buy beeswax whenever I get enough to sell, you'll know where to get fresh, local wax. And there's a lot of products that can be made out of it. Most common one is candles, but it takes a lot of wax. Let's get that out from underneath there. Now I do have, oh, it popped off. I do have a special tool for taking comb and populace and everything off her frames. You have to take the foundation out, but that's where what we do is we're going to go back to our bee bucket. It's this special tool right here. See how that's designed right there? That is designed so we can set this up and clean our frames. This side is actually the clean side right now, so I don't need to clean that one up. But this one is not clean. It's had some wax and stuff stuck in it, so I just want to clean it up. Go full length of this frame. That way it's ready to go. Let's see, we got a little bit out of that gap. Even the hive tool itself cannot do as good as a tool that is designed for it. So goes back to the old saying, there's a tool for every job. Make sure you use the right tool for that job. So sometimes you can squeak by without using the wrong tool, without having the right tool, but it doesn't always work. And we got something new in. Look at this. Caution, beekeeper, if you see me running, try to keep up. Heck yeah, that's going on the truck this weekend, I'll tell you that right now. So thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support. I really get excited every time somebody likes a video. I get even more excited when I get new subscribers. So be sure to share, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you'll see all future videos coming out.